G'day, Malcolm. I'm Blair Warner. I'm here with the National League show to Week 5 roundup. Joining me, Danny Milner, and we've got a guest on this week, Mark Casson.
Hello, everyone.
You there? Feel free to introduce yourself, Mark, and tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm just a football tragic who's not very good at playing football, but has been in football working for 11 years, knows the landscape quite well, and yeah, I'm also a big fan of New Zealand football as a whole.
I hope so.
Always have been.
Yep, sweet. We'll kick on and get into this week's results, and yeah. So, open up. Southern Derby, Coastal Spirit and Christchurch United. Not really much to say, honestly. 0-0. Didn't really leave us with much to talk about. There wasn't really any drama to my knowledge, so...
It was literally a boring game. I literally watched it, and I wish I could get the 90 minutes back. Because it was boring. No goals in the Southern Derby.
Yeah. Nick Petherick.
You do want to see results like that, though, because it's like, that's when you know, like, you know, teams aren't getting thrashed, everyone's at the same level. But yeah, as you're about to go into, New Zealand's Lamine Yamal, Nick Petherick, on at the 87th minute. What a man.
Oh,
great.
He started to get a bit bantered with me before the Auckland FC game, what was it, last week. So I did the classic hate watch meme. Benched and then subbed on to time waste and then didn't touch the ball. Just what a hate watch.
Oh, what a hate watch. Successful hate watch.
But yeah, moving on to a far more interesting game. It didn't quite go the way I expected. Miramar Rangers 4-1 over the Knicks reserves, despite them opening the scoring within the first 10 minutes through Luke Supik.
I didn't expect that.
I did see all over my Twitter feed was Louis Fenton's goal.
Yeah.
Great to see him, obviously, coming back on the field and scoring against his old club.
Yeah. Martin Bueno also got himself back in first equal with Barton Ginger and Kalen Nagoyan in the Golden Boot race as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting watching this game because I didn't expect it to go, but it looked like Miramar did a tactical job on Phoenix Reserve because they hit them where it hurt. So hopefully a better outing next week for the Phoenix, because I do realise that they have the bye this week.
I've always rated Cale Herbert as a coach. Just going back to when I was doing the media and marketing for the Lotto NRFL back in like 2018, he was the Hamilton Wanderers head coach, and you'd see those games live, and he was always like, I don't know how much budget he had at Hamilton, but it was kind of like there was literally, with what he had, he was like fighting, you know?
Yeah.
And you can see what he's done at Miramar. It's actually just kind of like transformed them a bit after a few years, just kind of being on the down.
Yeah. Martin Bueno has been absolutely massive for them as well. He has been just a fantastic signing.
Jordan Lamb's also another big one. I think he was it, am I correct, Danny? He was at Melville, but once upon a time?
Who's this, Jordan Lamb? Yeah. He was, once upon a time, he was a Melville lad.
Yeah, I just remember he was like, I think when they were in the Div 1 back then, he was the top goal scorer, so it's good to see him back as well.
Yeah, then moving on to the Auckland Derby. Auckland FC reserves pipped at the end again. Jean Naidoo opened the scoring from a bit of scrappy play after Auckland City failed to properly clear their lines. And then the, the inevitable Christian Gray, late equaliser.
Like AFC are literally Auckland City's bogey team this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've never beaten them.
1 win,
Like,
2 draws.
Yep. So a good draw for AFC at QBT Street.
Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed with that though, because that's the second game. Oh, what? No, yeah, second game in the last 3 that they've dropped 3 points basically when they really shouldn't have.
I think it's great to see that Auckland City's brand just elevates every time Christian Grey makes it onto their socials as well. With the
El
El
Professor!
I sit there, I love it. And I just sit there and just crack up every time.
It's so good. Yeah, and then on to the Birkenhead Wellington Olympic game. Birkenhead United came in swinging, blasted the doors off, and then just got kicked out, right back out again.
I said this after the game to an Olympic fan because I was lucky enough to go up to it. Birkenhead quite literally poked a bear, and the bear woke up, and they fought back. A couple of screamers from Wellington Olympic. I just also want to say, shout out to Birkenhead because their deck was absolutely pumping. Hospitality fantastic as always, and it's good to see so many people enjoying the game at Shepherd's Park. But Birkenhead were in dreamland after 10 minutes. And then Olympic just hit back and hit where it hurt.
Yeah.
Just going back to your point, Danny, I think Birkenhead are one of the better clubs at getting community engagement behind their first team and all that. So, like, all the support, it's something that the league needs. And I think basically they just smash it out of the park every week.
Yeah. And I just want to point out Tor Davenport Peterson's goal. Wow. 35 metres out. Just absolute screamer. And yeah. And then on to the final game of the week. Western Springs, Auckland United. Pretty much stock standard for Western Springs. Got in, got 3 points. Looked a little bit shaky there for a bit, but they got out of there mostly unscathed.
Yeah. I mean, it was straightforward from the Springs point of view.
Yeah.
It was literally a good win, and let's go again this weekend.
Yeah, Western Suburbs with the bye, despite scraping through a few unlucky results, I'd argue, and we'll move on.
A good time to get a bye though, really good time because then they can just reevaluate and be like, right, we can either go for it or we can just sit back. I reckon they'll go for it.
Yeah. So the table, we've got Wellington Olympic and Western Springs currently in the grand final spots on 12 and 10 points. Then 3rd, 4th, 5th, Miramar, Christchurch and Auckland City on 7. Western Suburbs, after their bye, right in the middle, 6th place on 6 points. Birkenhead on equal points, 6, but 6 behind in goal differential. Then you got Auckland FC, Wellington Phoenix in 8th and 9th. Coastal Spirit 10th. And then Auckland United did last on 2 points.
Nobody expected that, by the way, for Auckland United to be where they are.
Yeah, I had them sort of in and around the bottom 4. Yeah. I didn't have them rock bottom, though.
Coastal Spirit will be happy. They're like, we're not bottom. Sorry, Nick. Not really.
I think it's always good in that sense when you get people, you make a prediction, you get it wrong. It's kind of like, okay, this is where the competition's at. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like that shows where it's a competitive league. It's, the one thing I always look at, just referring to before the season starts, you've got the Northern, Central and Southern, and it's always like with the Central, you always know Wellington Olympic are going to kind of hit top, and you've got like 4 or 5 other clubs fighting for the rest of the National League spots.
Yeah.
But Northern League, like, you can never figure out who's going to get through.
East Coast Bays were an outside chance there on the final day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That final day was dramatic, to say the least, for the Northern League.
Yeah.
But even like the Southern League, it came down to a replay of a game between Nelson Suburbs and Christchurch United.
Yeah.
For the final spot.
Yeah, and it looked like Kashmir Tech were as good as gone as well.
Oh, yeah.
But they slipped on the final day, 3-3 draw with Dunedin Royals. All Christchurch United had to do was win. Yeah. And then Western Suburbs, they were probably would have been most people's pick for sort of that bottom spot. I call them as dark horses this season, and I'm more than happy with how they've panned out. two players leading the Golden Boot race, despite the fact Kalen Nguyen got all his goals in one game.
That kind of 8-0 against Coastal Spirit kind of helped you out a little bit there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But anyway, we'll move on to the Wellington Olympic coach, Ekau Henry. He piped up. Danny got a little soundbite for us to listen to, and he basically breaks down the Birkenhead game and his hopes for what's to come this season. So I'll just run that through and should hopefully hear it.
Hey Daniel, how's it going, mate? Yeah, sorry it's taken me a wee bit to get back to you. I've been real busy this week. But I'm not sure if doing a voice message is the way to go, but I'll do it and see if it's useful to you. The game on the weekend, yeah, far out. Birkenhead, great place to go. What a venue. Love their passionate support. Really admire the way Hobbo sets his teams up and how effective they are. It was a really tough game, very physical game. We're quite a physical team as well, so clash of the Titans in that respect. And they with their home ground, and we were just kind of shell shocked. They started so well, and it was just such a new environment for our players. Kind of annoyed that we conceded off set plays, and it's another classic Birkenhead moment where. Like we've literally tried to prepare and train for the lads to deal with the long throw-ins and how effective they are at corners, and we take pride on defending set pieces and set plays. It's the first time we've conceded off a corner since March last year, which is a long time ago, and to concede off two of them, a free kick and a corner, was pretty guttering, but. I think we played quite well though in the bigger picture, because our reaction after that 20 minutes to grow into a really difficult game was amazing resilience from the lads, and yeah, we tried to overload certain areas of the pitch against some of their defenders, and got a lot of success through that going into the game at 2-1 down. We knew that we were still in it. We had the momentum on our side, and scoring early second half, I think we had really good control of the game after that. Again, to be honest, the two goals to win the game, amazing individual goals, two absolute belters. One from Isa. We decided to invert him on the right as a wing back, which is, you might think, a strange place for a striker to be, but he just shows that when he can pick the ball up facing forwards in lots of space, there's just so much opportunity for him and therefore us. And then tore an absolute rocket from the Dane. What is that, 30 yards, 35 yards? Really, really special moment. Maybe a goal that I'll never forget, and that's one of the reasons why we do it, to make such positive memories that can last a lifetime. Things have gone really well at Olympic this season. We've got our 5th Central League title on the bounce, and the 2nd Chatham Cup in the bag on the bounce, and so the next thing is to try and do the unthinkable, which is a treble that hasn't been done before and probably won't even be done again, and that's what we're going to try and do. We've got 5 cup finals left. It's had its setbacks with the recent loss to Auckland City, for example, but you kind of need those games to stay humble and just know that at any time you can lose games if you're not going to apply yourself fully and get what you need to get done. The late winner versus Springs is and that was like the first game of the National League campaign. It really set us up to be like, yo, like we can actually do this, and yeah, like like you ride your luck at times, but then you create the luck you ride, and that's the plan. That's the plan. It's not easy, like with so much success, to keep the squad motivated, but there's like, every dynasty comes to an end, but do you and do we want to be the ones where that dynasty comes to an end? Can we keep rolling this and start making history that won't be repeated, and
Yes, that was Ekau Henry talking about pushing on for the treble and keeping the lads motivated and whatnot. And yeah, it was a fantastic little bit from Danny there. Thank you very much for getting that.
All good. I just want to appreciate him for his time, because for a random bloke to come up and be like, "Hey, can you send me a sound clip for me to put on a podcast?" It doesn't really matter. For him to do it, I'm really appreciative. And exactly like Birkenhead scoring from set pieces that they haven't conceded to in like over 18 months, over 12 months, ridiculous. And then for them to come back like that,
Yeah,
unreal. So, and an unprecedented treble on the line this season.
Yeah. Will be probably maybe one more chance at the team doing something similar, or is it? How's it working next year with the? Are they keeping the same format for 2026? Is it, and then changing in 27?
I think so.
Something like that. So yeah, so there'll be like one more. If they win the treble, there'll be one more opportunity for a team to do something similar. So they could very well be the last team to manage a treble of, in this case.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for his time, and we'll move along to the upcoming fixtures. Big one for down in Wellington, Olympic versus Western Suburbs. This will likely be do or die for Western Suburbs. If they can get 3 points here, it's all on.
Yeah, and likewise for Olympic, like they need 3 points. They've got Western Springs hot on their tail, and if they slip up, then it could invite Murmur into the question, or even a late surge from Auckland City.
Yeah. Speaking of Auckland City, they take on a fellow pack chaser in Christchurch United. And yet another 6-pointer. Could swing either way based on their form. Auckland City haven't been the most convincing this season. And yeah.
I mean, it's a homecoming of sorts for David Yu, who was Christchurch United and then came out for Auckland City just before the Club World Cup. So it'll be a really interesting game, but I think it will go to the home side. But I'll keep my prediction for the end.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I was speaking of this. Mark, you would know Noah Kunaratne quite well. How do you think he's gone this season with Suburbs and also Christchurch United?
I think when it came to being at Suburbs, there was a lot of trust from Bilty for him. So when injured captain Jake Michelle was out, it was always he was one of the three that was always rotating the armband. So, and he was always on Bilty's 11 every single week. So he's definitely one of those young characters who's a leader. I would like to see him play at a higher level. So I think he's had one hell of a season, especially the way he started as well for the National League. So yeah, he's one of my favourite people in football, actually. Just, when you see him, I'm always wanting to say hello to him and all that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's definitely one of those things. So I think this has been a big, important season for him. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice, yeah. So moving on is another game in Wellington, Miramar Rangers versus Western Springs. I think this is another one where Western Springs should get past them, get the 3 points, get out, maintain the charge towards the grand final.
Yeah, it'll just definitely be interesting down in Wellington. I don't know what conditions are like in Wellington.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
know
good
if it's
point.
windy or if it's still. You never know in Wellington because it could literally be full season in one day.
Yeah. More like 4
So
seasons
yeah,
in 90 minutes.
full season in 90 minutes. But it'll be a good game at DDF. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I think this could be the game of the round.
Yeah, nice.
I agree with you on that as well. I think it's one of those things where, like, I'll save my prediction, but I feel like it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah. Then Auckland United Coastal Spirit. They're there.
I don't. Yeah,
They'll be turning up.
it's battle of the wooden spoon at the moment.
It's no Western Suburbs versus Eastern Suburbs, though.
No,
I
the
think
suburbs versus the suburbs.
I think this game, Auckland United versus Coastal Spirit, a draw would not favour either team.
Oh, God, no.
Like, it's definitely like one of them's got to win, and I think it's one of those things where both teams are going to go out like literally motivated to get those 3 points.
Yeah,
so that's
don't want to
gonna
be last.
Yeah, but that's exactly that. Sometimes, like when there's no relegation there, but it's like one of those things where like you don't want to be last. So sometimes those teams at the bottom always put up a fight, like a huge fight near the end of the season. So even though we're midway through it, so yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And then to round us out, Auckland FC Reserves taking on Birkenhead United. Again, Birkenhead, they're part of the Chasers. They'll be looking to snag 3 points against Auckland. Donkers should be pretty much fit by now, hopefully for them. Susky, of course, bagged early on. Hughes, I think, has nabbed a couple of goals this season as well. They're pretty much full strength in attack now.
Yeah, big. Kai Donkers actually started against Olympic.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
It's going to be a great battle this game. I don't know which way it'll go. I think it'll be the battle in the midfield again. Both teams love to play in the mid, so they'll be loving to use their midfield a little bit more. So you've got Finn McKinley. I don't know who for Birkenhead. You've maybe got Isaac Bates, but it'll be the battle
Van den
between
Hooven as well.
Van der Hooven. So it'll be an interesting game to definitely watch.
Yeah, because Gyagos is returning to the Auckland FC first team, so McKinley will definitely be available to sort of bolster that midfield. Be interesting to see whether Middleton returns to the pivot again, because I thought he played really well there the last sort of game or two that he put a shift in there. So hoping to see more of that.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and then of course that leaves the Knicks reserves at the bye.
Yes, they can't ruin my weekend again. Yes, get in there.
And Nathan Walker apparently out injured as well, according to the A-League ins and outs. So I don't know whether that's a major injury or not, or if it's just a bit of a niggle. This would be a good opportunity for him to recover if that's the case. And yeah, good chance for the first team to take some youngsters away to Coastal Central Coast as well, and
Central Coast, yeah.
Yeah, maybe give them a run if things go positively in that game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so yeah, predictions. I think Olympic take the win. I think Christchurch United, Auckland City, I think that ends in a draw. I think they shoot each other in the foot and drag each other down. I think Springs take Rangers. 97th minute Nick Petherick winner against Auckland United.
Oh,
Go on.
Go on, Nick. And I think Birkenhead will take Auckland FC reserves. I think they're building a bit of momentum, and losing to Wellington Olympic is hardly an indictment on them. So yeah,
Olympic is just a good team.
You'd say they're the favourites to take the lot at the moment.
Oh yeah, they should be outright favourites. I don't know what they're paying at the TAB. But yeah, I don't know. I will go Olympic. I'll go Christchurch United. I'll go Springs. I will go a draw against United and Coastal Spirit. And I'll go Birkenhead against AFC. I can't believe yet. Have you really put Birkenhead over AFC?
Yeah, everyone's back for them. They've got a full strength squad.
Full shrink.
Yeah, and well, you never know really with the reserves team. Like, we played 5 wingers against Miramar Rangers, and one of them played as a defensive midfielder. Like, you can never be quite sure what a reserve team is going to put out. So, yeah.
Mark, what about your predictions?
Oh yeah, sorry, I just went quiet. I don't know why. I just sat there not saying anything.
You were thinking over your predictions. You had some really great thoughts for us, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Wellington Olympic. I'm going to pick them over Western Suburbs, but I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be quite close.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. Like, because Suburbs will put up a fight.
Yeah.
Between Christchurch and Auckland City, I feel like Auckland City had a really rough start to the Northern League, and they managed to sneak their way to National League. They're currently sitting mid-table, but I think Christchurch will take that.
Yeah.
Against you guys, I'm literally going to go with Miramar over Western Springs. I feel like Miramar could, they're at home, and it's one of those things where, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be a one-side affair. I think it's going to be very close in that regard. Between Coastal Spirit and Auckland United, I think Coastal Spirit will take it. Again, won't be one-sided. It'll be quite close. And I am going to pick a draw between Auckland FC and Birkenhead because the amount of times I've seen Auckland FC reserves play, they're actually quite a decent team.
Yeah, they're a very good defensive unit.
Yeah, and I feel like they do surprise teams, and I mean they caught Eastern Suburbs out like us.
I think the big thing is they're missing 5 players going to the Under-17 World Cup as well, including Luka Visilic, who has been starting in defence alongside the Benu. So that is something to think about.
I mean, I did think that earlier in the season as well, and then they surprised us when I was at Eastern Suburbs. So
Yeah. To be fair, I think Visilic actually got man of the match in that game.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I'm a little bit like, okay, well, I'm not going to underestimate that. I'm just going to call it a draw, and then
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, sweet as. Cool. We'll move on to the National League changes. So New Zealand football will move to a double round, fully club-based, full national competition for men and women in 2027 to be played at the same time as the existing winter season. There will be 12 teams plus playoffs and a final for the men's comp, 10 teams plus playoffs and a final for the women's. Promotion relegation will be in full swing now, and updated club licensing criteria and a loosening of foreign player rules.
What we've been screaming out for a little bit, I think some teams are playing so many games over a season, it's not even funny. I mean, there would be like your National League team would have started in January and only ending at the end of December. So it's something definitely for sure people are screaming out for. They've also dropped the under 20 rule. So there's no rule in terms of the under 20s minute. Hopefully this is a good step forward from New Zealand football, and I'm really quite happy with it.
I think it kind of alludes to what I was talking about before, with the bottom teams fighting to stay in the league. It's going to make the league a little bit more interesting and exciting as well.
Yeah.
Throw back to your early 2012, 2013 days of the Premier League when Wigan Athletic used to go from rock bottom and then somehow survive relegation with 5 games to go. Like, that could be the case, and it could make for an entertaining, I guess you could say, last few rounds down at the other end of the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an exciting one, and it gives, I guess you could say, it gives a little bit more competition and accessibility to the league in terms of a clear pathway, rather than getting promoted into one of the 3 leagues and then having to fight for another top 4 or top 3 spot, top 2 in the Southern League. So yeah.
Yeah, and the team I think that I've heard a lot about regarding that loosening of foreign player rules is Waiheke United. From what I've heard, they've got a couple of really talented players foreign players that they haven't been able to use because of those restricted rules. So I'll definitely be keeping a closer eye on them when 2027 rolls around.
What league are they in at the moment?
Like the third tier of Northern football or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys been to a game over there?
I have not. I have not had the pleasure, unfortunately.
It's insane. It's insane. One of the best experiences I've ever had. It's like the atmosphere is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
They have a YouTube channel as well that's, I believe, Spanish speaking, and like they get quite a bit of traction on that. It's actually quite awesome to see.
Yeah, I remember being over there. I think it was like there was one season where they like either won it or they finished second in the NRFL Div 1 when I was working at NRF. And me and another colleague went over there, and it was just like insane. Like because they did get promoted, and there was a few regulation issues regarding who they could field and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just thought, like, the atmosphere, the celebrations, everything, as soon as that final whistle went, it was just insane. It was so good.
Yeah. Anything else either of you want to add?
Mark, anything you want to add?
I'm pretty chill on this. I just get excited to see what all the latest updates are in football, and I'm always the kind of person that just goes, that is sick. I'm positive about it, and I'm like, let's go for it, you know?
That's awesome to hear.
So I will just add one thing. To the people behind the scenes doing this National League rework, well done. Hats off to you, because you actually did something right for this country and for football.
Cool, sweet as. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there, and thank you everyone that tuned in, and see you around.
Thank you to Mark.
Thank you, Mark, for coming out and taking your time to come out and join us here, and
Thanks for having me, guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point later down the line, and